Hey, what's going on guys? It's Taryn here, and 2023 has come to a close. So happy new year to all of you. I hope you all had a great start to 2024. I've had the pleasure of using some amazing tech products for the last 365 days, and I've also used some stuff that didn't quite work out. What I'm going to be talking about today is my tech favorites and flops of 2023. What I'll be sharing isn't all going to be new products. Some of it is old, but they either have had a major positive impact for me, or they have had sort of a kind of a zero or no impact at all. So let's start with the latter. What were some of the pieces of tech that didn't work out for me personally in 2023? The first one is going to shock a lot of you, so brace yourselves, but it's the AirPods Max. And let me explain. These are great. From an objective standpoint, I don't actually have any qualms or negative things to say about them, other than that I wish that they charged via USB-C and they sort of do a number to my hair when I wear them. They make my afro look kind of weird. But the biggest thing is that I've made a concentrated effort to use these in 2023 because they're objectively awesome. But the AirPods Pro 2nd Gen are so good, so much easier to take around. They charge wirelessly, which makes that whole process effortless. They've truly been the barrier to me to convert to using over-ear headphones. So spoiler, AirPods Pro 2nd Gen is one of the best pieces of tech I've ever used in 2023, and I'm gonna continue to love them moving into the new year. But let's get back to the stuff that didn't work out for me. We'll get to the tech that I loved this year very soon, I promise. The second piece of tech, in no particular order, is the M1 iPad Air. Again, let me explain, as the iPad Air isn't objectively bad, it's actually incredible. A huge feat technologically, but just like my AirPods Max, my iPad Air sits unused quite often. I've really tried to get on board with using iPadOS as a main computer, but Apple already makes incredible computers known as their MacBooks. So when it comes to daily tasks or hardcore workflows, I always choose my Mac. When it comes to consuming content or just chilling, I choose my iPhone or my Apple TV. I rarely find myself coming to iPad unless I'm traveling, which isn't often, unfortunately. Maybe if my lifestyle was different and I traveled more, I'd actually find more use out of an iPad. And I say these things not to harp on iPad or AirPods Max for that matter, but to enlighten all of you that you should really think about the things you buy, how much you actually will use these things in your life, as they're not cheap. And a lot of the times they could just go unused and your money is now just out of your bank account. What I hope for selfishly in the future for iPads is that Apple adds these 4 things: an always-on display, wireless charging, the ability to receive AirPlay 2 video and audio from an iPhone, and a sizably upgraded Siri that is actually useful. If you haven't caught on yet, this would be the perfect recipe for a smart home display in my eyes. That's sort of where I see tablets fitting into my life when there isn't much else for me to do with them in the meantime. Because yes, I do use my iPad, I actually like it a lot, but the times between that I don't use it are quite large. So it would be awesome if it was useful in other ways in my home. If my iPad could also be the ultimate smart home display, I'm not even kidding, it would literally be my #1 favorite piece of tech for 2023. That's how much I'd love if Apple made something like this for us to use. Okay, so those are some of the things that didn't quite work out, but let's talk about real flops, like things that just completely missed the mark. And it's gonna be this 2 terabyte Lackey or Lacy hard drive. And this one is the purest definition of a flop. I may have just had bad luck, but this thing has been a nightmare to use. It doesn't correctly mount on my Mac all the time. I always need to troubleshoot it and get it to work correctly so I can get the files off of it. It's so bad that I cannot, in good faith, buy their hard drives again for now, and I probably just have a defective unit. I understand these things happen, but as you know, these do have good reviews online, but I can't chance my money on a product like this again because these are pretty expensive, and this was sort of the first experience that I had, so I'm gonna try a different brand in the meantime. And I do want to add in one more flop for good measure. It is the DJI RS3 gimbal. This is an incredible product for your camera, an amazing technological feat, but it's just something I literally never use and cost me almost $1,000 Canadian that I'm never going to get back. So moral of the story, really think about the stuff you buy before you buy it. But let's get to the happy stuff now. Joyful products, things that I really loved, and stay tuned to the very end as I will crown my all-time favorite purchase of 2023 and just give it the favorite tech of the year award, so to speak. Starting off with webcams, actually, I've been a huge fan of the Opal C1 for months, as it makes me look super crisp and clear on video. I've gotten tons of compliments on how good it looks over the year, and I love the design, so it's a permanent stay for me on my desk setup. And Opal actually reached out and they were kind enough to partner with me on this video to send over their new webcam, the Opal Tadpole, which is the smallest web camera ever made. Seriously, this thing is ultra portable, super light, and even smaller than my thumb. It's made with high-grade aluminum, glass hinges, a beautiful premium braided cable, and a tiny little adjustable knob to keep the cable wire from looking messy when you're using it. And you'll love this. It has a mute/unmute button on the USB plug for really quick convenience. I've never seen anything like that before. It's really cool. The Tadpole is the first webcam to be built from the ground up only for laptops, and it will 100% be what I'll take with me when I do work on the go when I'm away from home. It also has a Sony mirrorless camera sensor built in, which is what you're seeing visually right now. And it also has a directional microphone system to help filter out any background noises in the background. And when you compare and contrast this visually to a MacBook Pro webcam, you can very easily see the difference between the Opal Tadpole, where I look more dynamic, versus on the MacBook Pro, I look a lot more flat. So if you guys are interested in buying an Opal Tadpole for yourself, click the link at the top of the description down below to buy yours today. Thanks again, Opal, for partnering with me on this portion of the video. Next, one of the best things I've done this year is purchase my very first Nintendo Switch back in March, I believe. It's the OLED model, and it's been awesome. If you're still on the fence to buying one of these because of the fear of a new Nintendo Switch coming out, I wouldn't even worry about that, to be honest. I would see the bright side, a half glass full mentality, that there are tons of incredible games that have come out since 2018 for this console that you can enjoy right now that will take you months or even a year or so to get through all of them. The OLED display on the Nintendo Switch is beautiful. It's the best console for playing with friends and family. It packs so nicely into a case if you buy one like I did. It's just awesome to use all year round. That's really all I have to say about it. Since we're on the topic of video games, I do have to put the PS5 on my list as well. It's my go-to for gaming in 2023. Everything from the controller, the games like Spider-Man 2, and how beautiful it looks and runs in 4K. It's been a real treat using this thing for the last 365 days. If you're curious what games I've been playing the most right now, it's actually NBA 2K23 and 2K24. I'm a huge basketball geek and nerd. So if you're like me, actually, I'd love to know what your favorite team is down below. I got the Toronto Raptors as my favorite, as I do live downtown here in Toronto, Canada.
Gary looks, he takes it, go!
The next product I'm in love with, and actually just got like literally a few days before the new year ended, is the Sonos Arc soundbar. This thing is like a beast. It's huge, first of all. It projects a big sound, has great audio fidelity, and has support for Dolby Atmos and supports AirPlay 2, which is nice for someone who primarily uses iPhone and Macs in their house. I'm now thinking about getting their subwoofer and even additional speakers, since this Sonos Arc sounds so good, but they aren't cheap, unfortunately. They actually are quite expensive. They cost a fortune. So maybe I'll upgrade my sound setup in a few months or a year or so. Who knows? We'll see. Up next, I can't not have this product on my list, as it single-handedly upgraded how much better my videos have looked in 2023, the Sony FX30 cinema camera. I won't bore all of you with the tech specifics of this product, but this thing shoots beautiful 4K 10-bit color video that makes my videos from the second half of 2023 not look nearly as clean and as dynamic as it is right now. And this camera was made for professional video, so it has all the controls, buttons, and quick access I need to make filming a real treat for the channel. And a quick shout out to Aperture as well. They make some amazing lights that look great in the background of my videos. As you guys can see, they don't flicker at all. Key lights and domes that I use to light myself as the subject in my videos. It's been something that I just honestly, I can't believe I haven't used for years until recently. Now let's talk about all of my favorite Apple products from this year, since, hey, I covered a lot of them in 2023. For me, the best iPhone by far for my life is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I've talked endlessly about this in multiple reviews and day in the lives that you can find on the channel, but everything from the design, cameras, USB-C, it's a total package this time around. I'm really not sure how much better iPhones get from here. And maybe Apple knows that too, and that's why the Vision Pro is on its way in 2024, which I am super excited about. Only time will tell, but a runner-up actually is going to be the iPhone 15 Plus for anyone who wants the longest battery possible on any iPhone. I'm serious, like it's super hard to kill the 15 Plus, and you're actually saving money while still getting the big phone experience that a lot of you guys prefer. Next up is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. It actually was a contender for being my favorite tech product of all of 2023, and it's because this thing literally does it all. Great battery life, great smartwatch features, great fitness tracking, big display. There honestly isn't much to not like about this. Next is the M2 Pro MacBook Pro. That actually was also a runner-up for my favorite tech product of 2023, and like the iPhone, Apple is absolutely killing it in the laptop space. It's so crazy to think that you can buy a computer in 2023, spec it out exactly the way that you need it to, and it might end up being the last computer you buy for like years. Seriously, this thing is powerful, and the days of performance issues and slowdowns are so far behind me. It's kind of funny. It was barely 5 or 6 years ago where I felt, even with the new laptop PCs that I was buying, that I wish that they actually could do more. And right now, there's an extremely tiny list of wishes I have left for MacBooks to be able to do, which is just insane to think about, and they're not even really performance related. I just want them to have better webcams at the end of the day. Anyways, now we are on the last product on my list, and my personal favorite tech product of 2023. I know I'll probably get a ton of people who will be surprised by this, but I love my Apple Studio display. It's one of the few things I use every single day for hours at a time, and I can't express enough how crisp, sharp, and clean this whole monitor is. It's built like $1,000,000, and I love how good the speakers sound out of these, effectively removing any need to have speakers on my desk personally. Yes, this thing costs a fortune and an arm and a leg, but if you're a creator like me, I think you could empathize and appreciate why I loved this so much, for helping me color and create the content to put out for all of you in 2023. Anyways, those are my tech favorites and flops for 2023. I would actually love to know what your list would look like. What are your favorite pieces of tech, and what are the ones that actually didn't quite work out for you? I think we could have a really cool conversation with everybody watching this video down below. Comment hashtag I made it if you finished the video. Subscribe if you're brand new to my channel, and I'll talk to all of you guys in the next one. Peace.